Hey guys, this is Homestead by Chance. My name is Natasha and welcome to our 5 acres. I know it doesn't seem like much to have a homestead on 5 acres, but I've heard of people doing 2. Apparently they call it a mini homestead, so we're going to give it a try. Homestead by Chance. We didn't buy the property with the intention of having a homestead. But over the last 2 years, I've been learning more about herbal medicine and foraging and different things like that. So we thought we would just start somewhere with our property and see what happens. We bought it in May and we've been doing a little bit of upkeep. You can see that it's mowed and everything. And we've done a couple of very small projects. I'll tell you about a couple of those today. We just had the culvert put in about a month ago. So we really haven't had great access to the property. Thankfully, our neighbors are really nice and they let us drive across their property to get to ours. But now we have full access to our property. So now we can start doing more projects. So the first thing I want to talk about is the reason for these videos, the intention behind them. No editing, right? We want to show real life. We are not homesteaders by any means, so guess what? We're going to be learning everything and you're going to learn with us. So every time we trip and fall or mess something up or something doesn't work or whatever it is, you're going to see it because we want real life. That's what we're about. We're about real life. So you're going to see everything that goes wrong. You're going to be right there with us. So with that in mind, we're not going to stop the video. We're just going to keep going, okay? So this is the front half of our property, and it's a reclaimed cotton field, and there's like a drainage in between in these trees. So it's really great. We have this beautiful section of trees right in the center, and it goes along. This is all the side of our property. We're the piece that's kind of at the end of the cotton field. So we have the trees from the road all the way down the side, and they cut through the middle, which is really cool. My husband has been lining out our driveway that we'll have one day. We did get a small path cut through the trees. We're going to have to widen this to have a proper driveway. We're going to build a total Ewok village for our son over there. It'll probably take 20 years to finish, but that's okay because it'll be cool when it's done. We try to spend time on the property as much as we can. There's nothing out here. There's no water or anything, so we just bring tables and chairs and dig a fire pit, and we have a thing to wash our hands, and you know, we have some fun out here. Highlight of the video, the stump that we have tripped on 10 million times. We keep tripping on that stump, so I spray painted it white. It's beautiful back in here. We have maple trees, oak trees, sycamore trees. We even have a pecan tree. We're hoping to see pecans on the pecan tree here in, I guess, what, maybe a month, something like that. So that's going to be really cool. And we're going to do a little bit of foraging today. I've been learning about herbal medicine and foraging, like I said, so we're going to see what happens as we walk through stuff. So this is the back half of the 5 acres. It's probably about 2.5 in the front, 2.5 in the back, something like that. We keep it all mowed down. And the cool thing is I like to come out here and do some walking quite often because as the seasons change, the plants change that you'll see. When we first purchased the property and came out here and it was all kind of grown over and everything, there were baby blackberries. Like this whole field was almost, the whole thing was baby blackberries. So that was really cool. And we've got blackberries in the front, and of course I picked those in the summertime. They were super yummy. So we've got sumac. I don't know if you're familiar with sumac. Oh, we got a little tree. It's these berries here. These are dark red. They're kind of a maroon. A lot of times you'll see a really, really bright red. They make like a yummy lemony tea, and they're really high in vitamin C. And you just pluck them off. You let them dry for about a week or two, or if the plant is older, those would probably be fine. I could probably just go ahead and put those in warm water and let them sit overnight, and you'll have this really awesome tea the next morning. And it's yummy to drink. And I like to walk along and I just take a look at the different plants that are growing. We did some walking in the back part of the property earlier, and we found old wild grapes that had already dried and fallen off and everything. So that's really cool. I look forward to that next year, going and looking for those wild grapes. We have a lot of blackberry and stuff in here, and we have 2 small persimmon trees in the front half, and then we have this bigger persimmon tree here. And I was actually curious. I've never actually had a persimmon, but if I have a persimmon tree, by golly, I'm going to see if I can get some persimmons. And I think I've been doing some reading, and it said if they're a little bit firm and they're orange, so that's orange, and it's just a little bit of squishiness to it. So I think that's what I'm looking for. And I'm going to go ahead and pick some of these. They're, whoa, ouch. If you eat them, my understanding is if you eat them before they're ready, then it's like eating a lemon. They're so tart. So we're going to get a couple of these down. Don't worry, I'm not going to try to get the whole tree picked while you're watching this video. I just wanted to get a few. Throw them in my bucket. I can come back some other time and pick the thousands of others so you're not bored watching me pick stuff and have leaves fall in my hair. So there I got a couple of persimmons. That's interesting. The core came out. We'll take a look at these later. We'll see what happens with those. Like I said, we've got 2 smaller ones in the front of the property, so I'll come back and pick as many of those as I can. We've been doing a little bit of work back here. There's a lot of down trees, so we're trying to get stuff cleared out as best we can. In the summertime, this is blackberries in here, so that's really great. We got lots of blackberries. We walked all back in there earlier today. Lots and lots of wild grapes. I was excited about that. This. I don't know if you can see this kind of purplish bright thing here. My husband actually knocked it down, so it's probably dying now. But that's called devil's walking stick. And there are some medicinal uses for it. Don't ask me what they are right now. I'll have to look it up later. But there are some uses for it, so that'll definitely come in handy that we have a devil's walking stick on the property for whatever those uses are. So again, we've done some more clearing. We have a willow tree towards the front, and we have a willow tree towards the back here, which is really great because you can make a tea from the bark of the willow tree, and it's basically aspirin. That's where aspirin came from. So you can use that if you have a headache or something. You can make willow bark tea and drink that. And then it doesn't have any of the side effects or anything that aspirin has. That's the great thing about herbal medicine, is that you don't get the side effects of synthetic medicines, which is really cool. All right, so one of the main things I wanted to do today was I wanted to dig up some poke root. A lot of people think that poke is poisonous, and the berries are not. Actually, I did pull some berries earlier today because you have to fight the birds for them. The birds love them. So these are poke berries right there, and the berries are perfectly edible. They're not going to hurt you one bit. It's the seeds inside the berries that are actually toxic, but they're so hard that the chance of you biting down on them, breaking them open, they're just really, really hard. So that's probably not going to happen. And so you can just eat the berry, and just like the birds, comes out the other end, and it's not a worry at all. The leaves of the poke plant, the rest of the poke plant is toxic. But if you are from the South, which we're in the South, then you've heard of poke salad. And that's where you take the leaves and you boil them 3 times. So you boil them in water, dump the water, boil them in water, dump the water, boil them in water, and then you can eat them, and it's just a green. The stem is more poisonous, more toxic, and the most toxic part of the plant is the root. However, it makes really, really great medicine. And so today I want to dig up some poke root. And what you do is you put it in a crock pot on low overnight with a carrier oil of some kind. Castor oil is usually the favorite. I'm going to use coconut oil. And you make a salve. You put some beeswax in it as well to make it thick. And you make a salve, and then like when you have a sinus infection and your glands swell and everything, and you put that salve on there, and it's supposed to pull the inflammation and the swelling and whatever it is, it's supposed to pull that out of your glands. I had a sinus infection about a month ago. It was horrible. I wish that I had had polk salve, so I had looked into it. So I was like, okay, I need to make some of this stuff. And the best time to dig up the roots is in the fall.